is Gabby Ray Talker, and I am here to present my findings of the current status of the United States Constitution that embodies these principles. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our prosperity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. This is Gabby Ray Talker here with White House press coverage. And it appears that over the course of Obama's presidency, he has been exercising executive powers. And like his predecessors, he is making full use of the War Powers Act of 1933. To explain, this legislation was passed during the reign of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Now, this was during the era of the Great Depression, and Roosevelt introduced the law in efforts to stabilize the failing banking system. In addition, the new law of 1933 made it possible for presidents to declare a national emergency during a time of either war or national crisis, and by doing so, it suspends the Constitution and automatically placed the public under martial law. As a result, every president following Franklin Roosevelt has exercised this legislation of declaring a national emergency. And this means ever since 1933, the U.S. Constitution has been suspended. As a result, American citizens have been and are currently living under martial law. Under martial law, the will of the government is forced on the people because constitutional freedoms and liberties are suspended, and civilians are no longer entitled to their civil rights. The president can determine what the American public can and cannot do. Please note that this is not a conspiracy theory. It is well-researched, true-life history and documented fact. And for those that do not believe this, here is the documentation that outlines the information on the national emergencies. This is its contents. It outlines what it covers inside. Then the next few pages explains the national emergency powers that the president has, and it explains what national emergencies are. Then after pages of reading through what national emergencies are in the whole program, it lists the actual table that gives reasons to why each president called a national emergency. Now, I don't have the listing of national emergencies that occurred before 1976, but I'm pretty sure that can be found in a library, a public library. Right now, I have the listing of national emergencies that were called from 1976 to 2001. Here's a little more, a chart of a little more. Here's some more listings of national emergencies. Some presidents called more than one emergency, and they only last for 2 years at a time. So when new presidents come on, they just keep extending it. This is the final listing I could find. You see at the bottom, it's dated for September 14th, 2001. That's for the September 11th attack they called a national emergency. Now keep in mind, Every time they call a national emergency and every time they extend a national emergency, it abolishes the Constitution, and we're automatically under martial law like we are today and have been since 1933. So I was wondering, since we are currently under national emergency right now and Obama is the president, I'm wondering for what reasons did he use? So I had to research that as well. Here's one article released by mainstream media that outlines one of the national emergencies that President Obama called or extended. In September 2011, President Obama informed Congress that the state national emergency that has been in effect since September 14, 2001 will be extended. Mind you, this have been perpetually extended since the 9/11 attacks in 2001. First by Bush and now continuing with Obama. As stated before, these emergencies only last 2 years. So in September 2013, Obama extended the 9/11 national emergency once again. Then once again, on October 2014, President Obama informed Congress he was continuing the state of emergency for the 36th year because the relations with Iran have not yet returned to normal. Mind you, this has been a continued national emergency from president to president from 1979. In 1979, the U.S. President Jimmy Carter declared a national emergency concerning Iran in response to the takeover of the former U.S. Embassy in Tehran. Here's another national emergency that President Obama extended in November of 2014, consisting of a declaration of weapons of mass destruction, finding that the proliferation of nuclear, biological, and chemical weapons remains a threat to the U.S. This national emergency was first declared in November of 1994 and was continued ever since from president to president. Currently, there are 30 national emergencies in effect under this National Emergencies Act. Some would ask, why so many national emergencies that are being extended from president to president, causing the U.S. Constitution to be suspended while martial law is in effect? Yes, it does put the president on a king-like level, but I see a bigger picture of why the U.S. Constitution is continually suspended. And when I look at the full picture, I see the Federal Reserve System, known as the Federal Reserve, that came into an existence in 1913. But its function was unconstitutional. Their operation consists of printing paper notes out of thin air without actually having the funds to back it up. The Federal Reserve knew that they would face serious consequences with the U.S. Constitution around. My findings is the Federal Reserve devised a plan where they could stay in business by having the Constitution perpetually suspended. And this concludes my report, investigation, and research of the U.S. Constitution that is currently suspended and not in effect. This is Gabby Ray Talker. Come follow me on my social networks and at isoclassifieds.com. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.